to welcome you to the 18th Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum, presided by the Congressman Robert Pittenger and organized by the Latin American Parliament and Crime Stoppers Caribbean, Bermuda, and Latin America. For us, it's an honor to invite Senator Jorge Pizarro, President of Parlatino, for the opening words. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Juan Manuel Pino, Minister of Security of Panama, on behalf of the President, His Excellence Honorable Marcos Castillero, President of the Panama National Assembly, Honorable Robert Pittenger, Chairman of Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum, His Excellent Juan de Dianous, Ambassador of Panama in the United States of America, Alejo Campos, Regional Director of Crime Stoppers. Dear honorable guests to this very important forum, parliamentary authorities and colleagues from many countries, ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps and Panamanian authorities, and also citizens that are here today. Without a doubt, for the Latin American Parliament, the Parlatino, being a host of such important forum is the one we are developing today. It's not only a privilege, but also an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the Parlatino, which represents 23 national congresses, with the representation from the ideological, socio-economic point of view of diversity of Latin America and the Caribbean. Without a doubt, Latin America, just like the rest of the world, has very serious problems in regards to inequality for citizens and our economies which depend on external factors, which means that during a globalization process, we have not been able to solve the challenges where we have policies that are able to uphold a sustainable development for the better quality of our people. In regards to security, what should be most important is the security of people. And our people's security is quite deficient. Citizens live in uncertainty. They live in insecurity, not only because of illegal crimes, but also social insecurity, insecurity to access for work, insecurity in regards to family life, and uncertainty in the future as a whole. In this forum, there are two main themes. As part of the Parlatino, we have been working on this. The first is the lack of security for people. The second, very much related to the first, the growing corruption in our countries, which is quite unfortunate. When I talk about corruption, talk about the broadest sense. I talk about corruption when there is any abuse from the public sector and authorities and anybody that holds a responsible position. There is corruption when we talk about abusive pricing among three or four big companies where citizens are obligated to only purchase those products. There's abuse when democracies in our local governments do not work and do not provide the right and quality services to people. There are many examples that we could provide. In regards to citizen security, as Parlatino, we have followed the concept of the United Nations, understanding that citizens' security is the process to establish and protect that civil and democratic order, eliminating violence, threats towards a population with a peaceful coexistence. It's a public good and it means safeguarding all human rights, especially rights to life, personal integrity, freedom of movement, and the safety of your home. Citizen security is not only reducing crime itself. We think that it's fundamental that we should be able to develop permanent public policies that would like to prevent and not just repress crime. This is very much linked to the social life, economic, and cultural conditions of our citizens in our society. So, in regards to prevention, the priority of the Parlatino is access to education of our youth, quality education, like an education that can provide values and principles. And this most certainly is valuable for all countries in the fight against violence and controlling crime. Prevention, it's fundamental from our point of view. In prevention, aside from education, we have the use of free time, public spaces, investing in people, and understanding that we're all part of the same community. Without a doubt, in this forum, we will talk about very important topics. In practice, there is a close relation between corruption and citizen security, as I mentioned. In these two topics, when we talk about money laundering, illegal finances, and adverse foreign trade, and to fight transnational organized crime, free trade zones, and international delinquency or crime are challenges that we should work together amongst all nations to eradicate. And this is the reason why, as a Parlatino, we've developed strategies for joint work. For example, with the parliamentary in regards to light weapons, along with Crime Stoppers. Parlatino was promoter of the Constitution against corruption for all of Latin America. We have been working also to be able to establish model laws that are able to allow, prevent, and fight crime and organized crime. Our executive secretary will talk about that specific topic tomorrow. But friends, colleagues, special guests, media, we believe that citizens' security and guaranteeing the peace and security of people is the challenge of any modern democracy. A democracy cannot move forward if it's unable to guarantee freedom, rights that are upheld in regards to mobility, freedom of thought, and everything that it implies the human rights that are inherent to every human being. Welcome, everyone, and thank you very much. Continuing with the opening ceremony, we'll invite Honorable Robert Pittenger, Chairman of Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum. You have the floor, sir.
Good morning. President Pizarro, President of the National Assembly, Castillero, Secretary Pino, thank you. We are most honored to be here in Panama on a very significant, important meeting to join with our friends from this region of the world, people that we endear as very close friends of the United States of America. We're here because, frankly, of a good friend named Alejo Campos with Crime Stoppers has given extraordinary leadership in this region. We have been already in Argentina and Paraguay and Brazil with similar fora, with the objective of bringing stronger working knowledge and collaboration on security issues affecting this region and the impact it has on the rest of the world. Following our fora In Argentina and Paraguay, those countries designated Hezbollah a terrorist organization. We've seen that transition take place in other countries, in Honduras and other countries around the region. We are hopeful that there can be the same dynamic, the same challenges that are made for this region to address the critical nexus between Hezbollah and the various cartels, where the funding in large measure comes to support terrorism globally. So we embrace this opportunity to join with you. We know that from this particular country in Panama that we have great respect. You're challenged today with being under the gray list for the Financial Action Task Force, something I know that you take very seriously because of the impact that it has relative to economic development, foreign investment, loans from our Development American Bank. We respect the fact that we must work together to see this tremendous oversight be addressed. I regret that President Cortizo is not with us this morning. His schedule changed, and I hope that he'll reconsider to join us, to embrace this dialogue and understanding the important relationship between security, illicit finance in this region, and the economic development for the people in this region. The opportunities that can be afforded through closer economic ties and economic growth can evolve when we are all on the same playing field relative to addressing the complicity with illicit finance. So we are grateful for your focus, for all you coming with us today, for the speakers who have come, extraordinary individuals, for our audience globally who is watching this fora, and there'll be thousands of individuals who will watch and see our videos. This will have a significant impact because of each of you and the interest that you take. We have some 30 countries who are joined with us here in the forum today. I would like to make the recognition of our staff who are with us. They're here to serve you. And if you'll just raise your hands, Kevin and Lucas, Santiago, Ana, Rogelio, and Ronnie, we're over in this part. If you have needs today and tomorrow, please count on our team to be with you, to support you, so that this has the most meaningful impact. Again, thank you for our international friends. We have 10 countries from Europe who are with us. They take great interest in what happens here in Panama and in this region of the world. So God bless you all. We are grateful for having this exchange over today and tomorrow and the impact it can have for freedom throughout the world.
Queremos recordarles que este foro se transmite.
We would like to remind you that this forum is streamed through the official site of Parlatino, the National Assembly, or Crime Stoppers. From Washington, D.C., we welcome virtually Juan de Dianous, Ambassador of Panama in the United States.
I'd like to start by taking a moment to recognize Juan Manuel Pino, Minister of Security, in recognition of the President of the Republic of Panama, His Excellency Laurentino Cortizo Coin, as well as the President of the Panama National Assembly, His Excellency Marcos Castillero. In addition, I would like to give a warm welcome to all the renowned speakers and participants joining in this event over the next few days. In particular, United States Senators Marco Rubio and Bill Cassidy, who took time out of their very busy schedules to be here today, as well as Senator Jorge Pizarro, President of Parlatino, Andreas Schwartz, member of the German Bundestag, Marco Sani, member of the European Parliament, and Mr. Alejo Campos, CEO of Crime Stoppers. And of course, last but certainly not least, my good friend, Chairman Robert Pittenger, the force behind this vital forum. Thank you, Robert, for all your hard work in bringing the 18th Parliamentary Intelligence Security Forum to Panama. The long renowned list of international participants is not only a reflection of the importance of the work the forum does, but a testament to your own efforts to bring together representatives from across the globe to tackle some of our most difficult challenges. Distinguished representatives, businessmen, diplomats, subject experts, and honored guests, I welcome you all to Panama and to this important and timely event. As you know, Panama and the United States have a long, unique history of close collaboration. Our people have developed strong, deep-seated bonds. We share business partnerships, families that call both countries home, and educational exchanges that have united our cultures. A clear reflection of our ties was the United States' generous support during the COVID-19 crisis, providing our country with assistance that included nearly $8 million in medical equipment and supplies, ventilators, and thousands of COVID tests. We are forever grateful to the American people for their concern and for standing together with the Panamanian people. Beyond our bilateral relationship, Panama and the United States work together to keep our hemisphere safe and uphold our common values of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. For many years, we have worked arduously with the U.S. on drug interdictions and keeping transactional criminal organizations in check. We have combated organized crime, narco trafficking, money laundering, and the violations of human rights. While we continue to focus on these issues, we now must also look to the emerging challenges such as cybersecurity. The wide range of threats we face, old and new, are the very reason the Intelligence Security Forum is so critical to all of us. Only through cooperation, the development and sharing of best practices, and confronting the challenges together, can we protect our government and financial institutions, our businesses, critical infrastructure, and most importantly, our people. It is not easy, it's not an easy task, but I have faith that together we can achieve our goals. When you look at our coat of arms, you see that our motto is Pro Mundi Beneficio, for the benefit of the world. It's our calling to serve as a bridge and consensus builder, and we take this role seriously. The Panama Canal is crucial to the world's supply chains, bringing goods and essential materials to both coasts of the United States and to our partner nations in Latin America, Europe, and Asia. Together with our airport, ports, and railroads, our country has become a regional hub that is critical to trade, travel, and the delivery of aid to the hemisphere. Our logistical platform connects over 144 maritime routes and 1,700 ports in 160 countries. We are located on the nexus of 7 submarine fiber optic cables, linking 100% of internet traffic, 97% of the international voice traffic, and 90% of the electronic data going through the region. Our strategic location and developed industries are quite literally what connect not only the continent, but the rest of the world. Faced with this global responsibility, Panama is constantly working to ensure that our international banking system, our free trade zones, and our ports are not exploited by criminal actors. We stand ready to play our role in working with our regional and global partners to confront the new challenges brought on by transnational criminal organization and the technological advances used to attack the very core of our society. From the very beginning of this administration, President Cortizo has prioritized policies that enhance transparency, combat corruption, strengthen our institutions, and protect the rule of law. Our government is committed to financial platform integrity, one which includes over 90 registered banks with total assets close to 90 billion US dollars, and to prevent its use for money laundering and the financing of terrorism and weapons of mass destructions. To this end, President Cortizo has demonstrated the commitment by working closely with the OECD and the United States to guarantee the appropriate oversight is implemented and enforced in collaboration with our allies. I am confident that with our initiatives, our global pledge, and our partnership with the United States and countries across Europe and Asia, we will be able to adapt to the challenges presented by modern transnational crime in a manner that will benefit our countries, the region, and ultimately the world. Thank you all for coming here today, and I look forward to the discussions. Have a good day.
Continuando con la ceremonia de inauguración.
Continuing with our opening ceremony of the Intelligence Forum, it's a pleasure to present Congressman Marcos Castillero, President of the Panama National Assembly.
Good morning, Mr. Juan Pino, Minister of Public Security in Panama, Jorge Pizarro, President of the Parlatino, Robert Pittenger, President of the Intelligence and Security Parliamentary Forum, Honorable Alejo Campos, Regional Director of Crime Stoppers, and the Honorable Juan Dianous, Ambassador of Panama in the United States, as well as all diplomats here, Mr. Luis Fabrega, the mayor of the capital city, all of the speakers, all of those present here today. Welcome to this 18th Forum on Intelligence and Security. Ladies and gentlemen, attending this forum on intelligence security and observing the program that is set out for us for these next 2 days, I remembered a phrase from Mark Zuckerberg who says, "The greatest risk is not taking any risks." And that happens when institutions and businesses get too comfortable. They start feeling that everything is fine and they don't prepare for the potential threats. Threats like illegal activities. So security analysis and the intelligence needed to fight against organized crime and ensure that that no longer happens really makes this meeting timely. We as a parliament have a fundamental role in developing cybersecurity tools to avoid AML and terrorist financing activities, as well as all of the other activities that we see in organized transnational crime. Throughout the world, there are two types of people. Most people desire to live well, to earn their living in a legal way, to respect the law, and to develop wealth for their entire society because they have values that are aligned with integrity, honesty, and justice. The other group is smaller, but more lethal. They have the objective of developing wealth, breaking the law at any cost, using their capacities, their intelligence, and their resource to commit crimes without caring who it might affect. I am very satisfied with this forum here today at this location with a very profound and interesting agenda which will serve for our countries to be able to adopt parliamentary policies that and I will direct myself to everyone here that we will develop policies that will help us to fight against cybercrime including 5G, blockchain, quantum computing, fintechs, crypto monies, and others. We know that there are answers here, and I seek to continue responding to the doubts and concerns that our population has offered. With that, I welcome all of you here to our country. Thank you very much, and blessings to all of you. We would like to invite now Honorable Juan Manuel Pino, Minister of Security in Panama. Good morning. To His Excellence Juan Dianous, Ambassador of Panama in the United States, Honorable Jorge Pizarro, President of the Parlatino, to the Honorable Mr. Robert Pittenger, President of the Forum for Intelligence and Security, Honorable Alejo Campos, Director of Crime Stoppers, and all the honorable members of the Parlatino, ladies, gentlemen, and all guests. Good morning, honorable representatives, members of the Latin American Caribbean Parliament, special guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome you to the Republic of Panama and extend a warm greeting on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Laurentino Cortizo, and on behalf of myself as well. In honor of this 18th Intelligence Security Forum, we will be looking at several different topics related to organized crime in its different manifestations. We will be hearing regional perspectives about those challenges and threats related to security. We will be hearing about different ways that crime is happening in terms of illegal finance and cybercrime and the challenges that countries are facing. We'll be hearing about financing of these crimes. Organized transnational crime is a source of financing for more than 100 different illicit activities. I mentioned only 10, but they produce significant earnings each year, over $1 billion, according to the UN Council Against Drug and Crime. Number one, we have false medications, the electronic products, marijuana, illegal betting, cocaine, illegal sales of medications that require a prescription, heroin, cigarettes, and software pirating. The global dynamic has shown us that in this most difficult time for humanity, which we are facing with this pandemic of COVID-19, organized crime has not stopped. Rather, new ways of committing crime which affect our economy and development and security, peace, and democracy in our nations have appeared. I would mention a few specific problems which have really negatively affected the lives of people and had collateral damage associated with violence. There are the deaths of innocents sometimes. As our countries are struggling against this COVID-19 pandemic, aside from economic problems, organized crime has developed new ways of working and has expanded its operations throughout the continent, especially in drug trafficking, cybercrime, money laundering, quantum computing, and others. We must analyze how our countries can avoid allowing gangs and organized crime to continue acting freely. Those responsible for security policies must have security information with updated intelligence that allows them to promote the implementation of public policies that seek to prevent crime and benefit the development of our countries. That is to say, we must look at the things that are caused by organized crime and the severity of these crimes. Different efforts have been made in public policy with coordinated lines of action to create an integrated response for security, including prevention, control, sanctions for all sorts of different crime. The executive branch has presented 3 projects to the legislative branch related to illegal activities and fiscal transparency. This initiative, on behalf of the Panamanian government, seeks to improve the reputation of the country in the issue of drug trafficking and money laundering, as well as avoiding fiscal or tax evasion in order to escape the gray list. This is an initiative brought to the National Assembly, which seeks to reduce the financial capacities of organized crime, creating a legal framework that removes that financial capacity and weakens the organizational structure of these criminal organizations. There's also measures being established in order to properly control any financial tools coming into the countries through airports, land borders, and the free zones. This law seeks to equip customs officers to identify the origin of any goods coming into the country and act against illegal contraband. The law seeks to adjust to international law in money laundering and other issues such as terrorism financing and weapons of mass destruction. In order to face these challenges and these risks, which are a struggle for our countries, which we must face together. Conventional security in the region must be dealt with applying a cooperative security mechanism. Threats that are faced can be overcome through mutual cooperation. We must have a multi-dimensional focus as we face these challenges together. And we must work in a way that is supporting national development so that the state is promoting development and allowing for sustainable development and strengthening national defense, including respecting human rights and protecting the national security at all levels. I would like to thank all of the organizers of this parliamentary event for participating with us today. I hope that we can work together to coordinate and develop integrated solutions that will allow us to promote the best possible strategies for security that will allow us to fight against organized crime. Organizations that destabilize public order, they generate instability in our democracies, as well as pain and suffering in our populations. With that, thank you very much, and as always, God bless you. In order to close this official inauguration of this event, we would like to invite Mr. Alejo Campos, the Director of Crime Stoppers in the Caribbean, the Bermuda, and Latin America. Good morning to everyone. I believe that this forum will be remembered as the Mask Forum. Like that dance in Venice, you know what I mean? But here we are. We are facing COVID. We have managed to bring experts from many countries into this room, and it's not easy to do that. So we want to thank you very much for being here. Minister Pino, thank you so much for your support. As we've been working with the government of Panama and the Minister of Security, it has been such a pleasure to work with you. We have had many interesting conversations, you and I, where we really agree on the importance of security legislation in Panama. Mr. Pizarro, thank you so much for opening up the doors to your home here in the Parlatino to us and for allowing us to come here to Panama. Mr. Pittenger, it's such an honor to have you here. And our honorable guests from in Washington, hello from Panama. Thank you for being here. Crime has threatened the integrated development of people in the world and especially in Latin America and the Caribbean. Organized crime and gangs are local operating arms of those organizations that have taken hostage the happiness and well-being of people. And this should be the inspiration for our work. So why are we here today? Today we'll be talking about some key ideas that we have been developing over the last 2 decades, seeing how organized crime has perfected and professionalized and used new advances in the world of 5G, blockchain, quantum computing, fintechs, crypto finance, and e-commerce, among others. And in this way, they have become more powerful and have been able to exercise a silent influence over our governments, infiltrate into our lives, subjugate illegally our economies, laugh at the financial system, question governability, and constantly threaten democracy. Democracy, which in Latin America is still being built day to day. But let's not fool ourselves here. For this to work, it's necessary that there exist a complex network of public and private institutionalized corruption. And it goes beyond those in government. It's something that in many countries is become a part of the culture and has to do with the education in values, the education in families, and the foundation of education that we see in our society. This is highly concerning as it attacks directly sustainable development in the world. That is why this conversation is so vital, and in these 2 days, it is especially good time for us to have this here in the Parlatino, so that we can discuss these modernized, harmonized legislation which anticipate and not responding late to these new methodologies and typologies of international crime. It's so important to have information about experiences and best practices that many countries are going through at this time. In order to fight global crime, we must work together, not individually. We must fight together as a bloc, truly coordinating with different nations and key actors, limiting criminal operations in all countries at the same time. And to do that, it's necessary to have dialogue and learning experiences with each other. As we invite you to these discussions, the different learning points that we'll see and the recommendations that we'll see in these 2 days from different parliaments in different countries to update laws and to create new laws will allow us to prevent crime and not just combat it. Crime Stoppers has excellent experience working with Parlatino, with Honorable Silvia Giacopo in Argentina at the moment. I believe that she is listening to us on streaming. We would send you a warm hug here from Panama. And as well as other representatives from Parlatino. We started with her and other senators, we started 2 years ago a process of developing a model ley to fight against the biggest struggles of our time, illicit commerce related with delinquency, transnational organized crime. About 40 years ago, there were those who lived in their neighborhoods and they sold certain products, but now they have been replaced by transnational criminal organizations, corporations, criminal corporations, I would say. So in February of this year, in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, Parlatino approved a model law to fight illicit commerce and transnational organized crime. You have access to that model in your documents, and that law, together with the asset forfeiture law, help us to be more effective as a unit fighting against organized crime. But the work does not end with the approval of this model law. Since March of this year, Senator Jacopo has been working with us, with public and private sectors, in order to open dialogue with different countries that are in the process of legislative reforms and are considering the contents of the law. Specifically, Panama is one of those looking at the reform. It's the Law 30 for customs, and are using primarily the Parlatino model law. So we will continue working in this line to strengthen our cooperation with Parlatino. We are convinced that these changes must be backed by national legislations. The real and effective combat against organized crime must be done starting with their finance and their economic criminal structure, weakening their resources and weakening their operational ability. It is there that we are focused. It is that idea that we are focused on today. Concepts like forfeiture, money laundering, financial investigation are key, and we must work together to face them. The illegal commerce is global, and it is destroying our national economies. While cigarettes and medicine and alcoholic beverages are perhaps the most affected, there are infinite numbers of products and sectors where contraband and falsified goods are affecting them. This illicit commerce is generating illegal products and income, which then goes towards terrorism, drug trafficking, and arms trafficking, and others. Governments must work to fight against this, showing how there is a significant part of social investment in the countries that need and can sustain international loans without the income that comes from this illegal commerce. It's very important to be able to have that income in order to continue that development. With that, I would like to especially thank Senator Jorge Pizarro, Juan Manuel Pino, the Representative Jorge Castillero, my team of Crime Stoppers here in Panama, all of the delegates and speakers that have traveled here to Panama, and the hundreds that are following us online on the stream, to media and all of the people and institutions that have participated in order to make this parliamentary forum possible. And my special thanks and recognition to the Representative Robert Pittenger for his trust, professionalism, and untiring spirit to bring people together at the right moment and the right time. To all of the people who are here, and I feel there are so many connected on the stream, we believe that you are giving a clear example of global leadership and showing the respect that you have for generating these connections around the world. I hope that you can give a round of applause for our representatives here. Welcome to Panama. We are so excited to get started. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.